Now, suspected armed robbers are reported to have attacked the campaign convoy of Cletus Avoka, the NDC parliamentary candidate of Zebilla. The incident occurred around 10:30 p.m. last night at Abusloka when the parliamentary candidate and his campaign team were returning from their campaign tour to Gori, Tetako, Adagbera and Azuwera polling stations. Joining us on the phone for more on this is the parliamentary candidate himself, Mr. Avoka. Thanks for your time, Mr. Avoka. So first of all, are you in good condition? Are you hurt? Were there any casualties at all?
No, not casualties in the real sense of the word, but the trauma and then the anxiety and then the pain is still in the people. We were coming from Binaba back to Zebilla after our rallies in the night. And around 10:30 p.m., midway between Zebilla and then the Binaba, at a place called Abu Kolega, it's a forested area. The advance team, that is normally made up of motor riders, they normally take the lead and then we those in the cars follow them. They got to a place where there is normally a police checkpoint. And they saw two men wearing police uniform. And then they used a torchlight and flashed them to stop. And not suspecting that they were armed robbers. They knew that it's a police checkpoint, that they were policemen. They stopped. And all of a sudden, they pulled rifles on them and then asked them to lie down. In fact, two other people emerged from the forest and joined them to be four of them. And they asked all of them to lie down and then hand over their motor keys to them. They had to do so to save their lives. So they searched them, took their mobile phones, collected all the money they had with them. And then one of the motors that they preferred, the motor looks quite new. They took that motor and then from them and then beat them up.
Hello?
What is this?
Mr. Avoka?
Hello?
Mr. Avoka, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So they brutalized them. They took money from them. They took their mobile phones, and then they even pulled one of the ladies in the entourage aside, and then tried to rape her. Her luck was that she was bleeding, and that is why they left her. But she had to do with some slaps and the rest of them. Then we were lucky because a good Samaritan heard the gunshots and then called my car and the people in my car that there was armed robbery just ahead of us and that we had to take cover. So I tried to call the Zebilla police to be able to see if we could get police reinforcement protection, but to no avail. So we had to wait there for some time. And then after they had taken the booties and whatnot from the people and then traumatizing them, they ran away into the bush. And then before we were able to pass and then get to Zebilla town by 11 o'clock, 11:30.
All right.
As soon as we got to Zebilla town, we went to the police station and reported to the police.
Right.
At the time that we got there, there were only two people on duty, a woman and then a policewoman and then one young man. He took the complaint from me and then said that we should go and come back the following day around 9:30 a.m. so that the CRDP would take the statements. I was wondering whether he should not call the district commander so that they will get some police to do some patrols and then even pursue the armed robbers because of the various routes that they would have taken. But that didn't happen. And so the armed robbers in the Bokuwetis have a field day. It's enough to rob and then just leave the scene and nobody follows you up. I think that is a big challenge.
All right.
Bokuwet district is the most
Mr. Avoka,
in the Upper East region.
Mr. Avoka?
Yes.
Fortunately, we have the Zebilla District Police Commander on the line as well. So hold on for me. We'll pass on the challenges to him. But we have on the line Superintendent Adam Ahmed Mahama. He's a Zebilla District Police Commander. Good afternoon and thanks for your time, sir.
Good afternoon to your other listeners.
Okay. Sir, so tell us the status of investigations. Have you made any arrests yet? And what have you come up with in terms of your investigations?
Yes, what happened was that yesterday at around 10:45 p.m., a complaint was lodged at the district headquarters to the effect that there was a robbery attack on the Binaba route. And then apparently a group of 9 people who went on a campaign with the parliamentary candidate of the NDC were returning to Zebilla. And when they got to a section of the road along the Binaba Zebilla stretch on that road, 4 people were armed with AK-47 rifle suddenly emerged from the bush and asked all of them to lie on the ground. But apparently, you could see that there was another Ascona vehicle, Ascona car, with registration number AS 1670N. And that had already taken the lead. The robbers stopped the car. And you could see MPP stickers on that very car. The robbers stopped the car and even shot the back left tire and then rendered the car immobile. But what happened was that we have patrol teams dotted at certain portions that will be able to respond to emergencies. So when the issue was reported, we decided to dispatch 1 patrol team. Apparently, it's not true that police didn't take action. And let me say that we have been able to put robbery under check ever since I took over as the district commander. The honorable parliamentary candidate is aware we have brought robbery under control. And so if he says you can just rob and then get away with it, I beg to differ. That is not what is happening in the Zebilla district. Let me say that we are on top of security. We went to the scene, and apparently we couldn't even see any empty shelves on the spot. We visited the scene, combed round, and then we took statements from the various complainants. We got to a place where we had torn beads that was lying on the ground. And then the lady made us to understand that one of the ladies was pulled to that side because the robbers made an attempt to rob her, to rape her. But unfortunately, she was bleeding, as the parliamentary candidate said.
Commander.
And for that matter, they were not able to achieve their aim.
All right, Commander, you talk about the successes you've chalked in ensuring that the armed robbery rate goes down in that particular area. Be that as it may, we are hearing of incidents involving politicians, or political actors, and how they're being targeted by armed robbers, especially around this time. So I'm saying that you're saying that you have recorded successes with regards to the armed robbery rate in your area. But I'm saying that be that as it may, we are seeing in many other areas how politicians are being targeted. And so given this situation we have on our hands now, are you going to be stepping up security in the area? What are you going to do going forward?
We have always stepped up security in the area. We have two patrol teams, and then at any point in time, remember, we cannot cover every part of Boku West district. So we have patrol teams that are stationed at particular locations. For security reasons, I will not be able to disclose that on air. We have patrol teams, and we dispatch them as and when the need arises. This is what we have done all along to be able to put robbery in check. We are putting a lot of measures. And for that matter, even the rate of highway robbery, even before I took over, it has reduced drastically. Even robbery in general, they can all confess.
All right, Superintendent Adam Ahmed Muhammad, thanks very much for your time. The parliamentary candidate, Mr. Avoka, is still on the line with us. Mr. Avoka, so what security measures, personal security measures, do you intend to take going forward so that you don't encounter such situations? Well,
thank you very much. The personal security measures that I think that we should put in place include efforts on our part, with the candidates or the politicians, to try to complete our rallies early enough to avoid midnight rallies. But it is a big challenge to us because this is a harvesting time in the area, and people are eager to be able to harvest their granules, maize, rice, etc., because of potential bushfires and then animals, running rot on their farms and eating everything that they have suffered to produce. So people want to harvest during the daytime, and in the evening they will want to come for rallies. So that is why we had a rally up to about 10 p.m. It's a commonplace in the area. So we have to adjust, let the population understand that we have to do the rally early enough and close. That's a big challenge, but it's something that we should address.
All right.
And then secondly, I think that we have to notify the police about our movement so that if police are able to provide us the necessary protection wherever we go, and we think that we anticipate that the rally will end in the night, then we get police escort.
Right.
And I think that I, as an individual, and then the parliamentary candidate, I would need a personal police escort. My colleague is the MPP parliamentary candidate, is a deputy regional minister, and therefore he is blessed with security. But as a former interior minister and then a former majority leader and a parliamentary candidate, I'm exposed to the challenges of insecurity. So I think that it will do them a lot of good, and myself, if the police can detail a policeman to be part of my campaign team so that they can provide the necessary security. But to a large extent, I think that wherever we go and we think that we are going to be late, I expect that the police will be able to provide us cover so that we don't run into this type of risk that we had yesterday. I still want to put on record that the Bokuwe district is the most insecure district in the Upper East region. The district commander can challenge me to this, but this is a fact. And if you want to interview anybody in the area, there are many routes that are very vulnerable. Between Zebilla and Sapelaga is very vulnerable. No week passes or 2 days pass without an armed robbery attack. Between Zebilla and Binaba, where we went through, is very vulnerable. Between even Bolgatanga and then Zebilla is very vulnerable. Even daytime, they rob. He is aware. Between Zebilla and Winaba route, it's very vulnerable. Even a month ago, they shot and killed somebody along the route and many other places. So it may be, admittedly, he might have reduced it to some level, but it is still very high because if there's insecurity in one incident or two incidents, that is a lot of concern for the people. We are living in fear, whether he admits or not, but people are living in fear.
All right,
and I think that we should put our efforts together to address this issue.
Very well.
So I'll need personal protection, and then I expect that the various campaign teams, whether NDC or MPP, we need to be guided. We need to be guided when we are on a campaign trail.
Very well. Thanks so much for your time. That's the NDC parliamentary candidate for Zebilla and former majority leader Cletus Avoka there.